Hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome back to another episode of Jash Reads. Tonight, we continue to read Animorphs number 2, The Visitor by K.A. Applegate. Shit. Okay, good. Okay, no, okay. Sorry. Joys of live recording. It was all over. I knew I was done for. Nothing in the world could stop the beast Visser Three had morphed into. He was 20 feet tall as a telephone pole. He stood on three massive legs, each as big around as a redwood tree. He had a tiny head, not much bigger than a human head. He would have looked funny, except that there was nothing funny about what he was doing. With two long, mighty arms, he was casually tearing up the concrete. He slammed his fingers into the cement. He ripped it up in slabs and tossed them over his shoulder. One of the slabs hit a Hork-Bajir and crushed him. I don't think Visser Three even noticed or cared. I ran. Crash! One of the Visser's huge hands slammed down in front of me. I scampered back and turned. Crash! Another hand like living rock slammed in front of me. Even the cat and me knew. It was hopeless. Visser Three glared down at me with tiny bright eyes and that weirdly small head. He reached for me with both hands cupped together, forming a wall around me. Crunch! Visser Three hesitated. Boom! I bolted. I leapt to the top of a wall, 6 feet straight up, and trust me, as scared as I was, I could have jumped even higher. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw what had happened. The earth mover had ground forward and slammed into one of the bug fighters. The bug fighter had exploded. Arrgh! Visser Three roared in fury. I did not envy the Hork-Bajir and Toxons who had let that earth mover get through. I ran along the top of the wall. It was cinder block, full of holes and only a few inches wide. It was a much tougher challenge than the balance beam in gymnastics, but I was running as fast as a very scared kitty can run. I'll kill you all, fools! Visser Three screamed. I hoped he would just forget about me. But then I heard the thunder of his walk. In 2 steps, he had caught up to me. His huge hand swept over me. It was 10 feet to the ground, and the ground was covered with rusted, twisted metal. I had no choice. I leapt. The sharp metal was rushing up at me. Visser Three's hand was sweeping toward me. Something sharp bit into my neck. The ground was no longer rushing up at me. Instead, I was zooming through the air. Jeez, Rachel. Next time you want to morph into a kitty, pick one who doesn't eat so much. Tobias! I can get you as far as the trees. That's it. Tobias said. I have to morph back. I said, my time is up. We flew toward the trees. Tobias strained to keep us in the air. I knew he was at his limit of endurance. Drop me now. We were in the trees. Tobias dropped me. I fell through the air, but my tail pivoted and kept my balance perfect. A tree branch, slam! My claws dug into the bark. I was already morphing back as I dropped to the ground and landed on soft pine needles. Through the trees, I could see the huge beast that was Visser Three rampaging in a fury. The few Hork-Bajir that were left were tossed around like toys. Toxons were crushed under his feet. I think he's mad we got away, Tobias said. Jake, the others? I demanded. Did they make it? They're fine. Jake had to morph back into human shape before going into tiger morph, so he didn't have a problem with the time. Marco got his feathers a little singed, but he's okay. Cassie, too. I collapsed on the ground. I had escaped. I had survived. I knew I should have been glad, but all I felt was tired. And that's it for this chapter of Animorphs number 2, The Visitor. God, I don't know if it was just me or maybe I did a crappy reading, but that seemed to go really fast. Or maybe I'm, sick. Yeah. God damn, I didn't know if I was going to get this episode out tonight because for like 3 weeks I've had vertigo, and getting a doctor visit is annoying because I had to go in for a doctor's visit with my primary care to get a referral, and then I call in today to schedule the appointment, and it's like, oh yeah, we have to have you fax the referral, and there was trouble with the fax. I was like, god damn it. So today was actually a little worse than normal. I actually had to take a nap. I was like, if I take the nap too long, I'm just going to, go on Twitter and say, hey, there's going to be a delay. Luckily, that didn't happen, because I like doing this. God damn it. And so the chapter, Rachel is put in a life or death situation as to face the fact that she might die. And then just out of the nick of time, she's able to survive. And you'll notice it's not really until the first Megamorphs that the Animorphs are actually able to have a win, without any outside help, that, when this doesn't end with them barely surviving. And this really showcases this. And I like it because this is something I can admire after having read a lot more, after having, had grown up a little and looked back and noticed that this is something very remarkable and good. Because young adult novels sort of have the whole, there's these heroes and they can win anything, and not really this sort of story of the heroes just barely surviving is very unique. I mean, the Divergent books, will not talk about the movies, at least after the first one, do have like this impossible scenario. And then there's the Hunger Games, which, yeah. I mean, but the Hunger Games are still just 2 novels. I admit, being an adult, I can't look at what's, modern day, not modern day, shit. This is what I got a BA in English for. But, like, yeah, just, goddamn, wish I could edit this shit out, but basically this hero, even though there are other books and other series where the heroes barely survive, it's still a little bit of rarity, because you want your heroes to come out and survive and be strong. At least it seems with most angles. I mean, Harry Potter, it does have more outright wins and a much cheerier tone than Animorphs. I mean, I won't spoil the ending of the series, of course, but Harry Potter allows you to have this feel of, yeah, you can face the bad guys, but at the end of the day, everything's going to be all right. And that's a very popular series. I mean, much more popular than Animorphs, and it has the whole heroes saving the day, and at the end, everyone goes home. Well, Animorphs creates a much realer and grittier feel, and the ending of the end battle of the book really showcases that. See, there's no like, yay, everything's gone, we survived, woohoo, we kicked his ass. It's Rachel's like barely got out there. She's like, I'm so tired. So yeah. So that's something I do like about the books. These books is that they really paint a harsh tone of war, and yeah. I guess I don't like to be happy. I think that's the whole getting out of this thing. I don't like to be happy. And there's one more chapter to go. So this isn't the final chapter. There's still one more chapter to go. What? So, what do you think about the chapter, and what do you think about my mad ramblings? If you could even get anything out of that, please, comment down below and tell me. And just remember, no major spoilers. So the series, like I just said, like the ending of the book doesn't leave you very happy. It's like, but it doesn't. But I didn't say how and why the series doesn't end happy. So I still left some things up to the imagination. I was very general and vague. So yeah. And if you have not read the book, if this has sparked any interest in you, just there's a link down below to buy the book. And this is just an adaptation. I mean, I'm reading the words off the pages, but how I read them, my horrible inflections, sort of might paint a different picture than if you read it yourself. Plus, it's just a great fucking book. And, maybe you want to listen and read along. Have fun. Oh god. When I was doing the first Chronicles of Gaia chapter, at this part, I don't really believe in death of the author, so I got to this part and I had somehow fucking forgotten and forgot to prepare for it, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. I could just mumble and say shit, Jash. Woot. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Sorry, that was me, like, trying to think of what I was supposed to do next. But please like this video and subscribe to my channel, because I live off attention. That's sort of why I do this. I don't get enough attention in my daily life, so I look online for someone to actually give a shit about me. And here comes the part where I drink a little. No, just used to have a shot glass until Dad destroyed it, and did not tell me he had destroyed it until I pointed it out to him. Never forget. Never forget. So if you want to join in this part, grab your favorite liquor, alcohol, anything that's lying around. I'm drinking some sake. And if you don't drink for whatever reason, I have some hot chocolate over here. Hot chocolate's good. Water or milk, basically be healthy while the rest of us aren't. So, let's see. My let's see what the drink to that. My fiance, you know, he had a bad doctor's visit today. Just it's a whole bit of drama I won't go into. But hopefully next dentist visit is a lot better for him. Uh, Carl died in The Walking Dead, and I'm going to need some time to recover from that. I'm not a comic book reader, but I know comic book readers, show watchers alike were shocked, so it's good in that sense, but fuck, it hurts. So let's drink to those things. Should I be drinking any small amount while I have vertigo? Probably not. Okay, sorry, I'm just really making sure it's on tight. Okay, so Thursday will be the final chapter of the book, and then I'm going to do the 5 things I noticed and make the next book announcement. Words. And next book announcement, and I was sort of thinking maybe you could, submit some things you might want me to talk about in the outro video for Animorphs number 2. So comment below, contact me on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, just about things you would like me to mention. Maybe questions about this book you want me to answer. I won't be doing the whole full blooper reel because, things happen and I couldn't do, get bloopers, so yeah, so those are things. So just to repeat again, if you, for the outro video for Animorphs number 2 and you want to submit something for me to talk about, a question of this book for me to answer, submit questions by a comment on this video, comment with Twitter, Tumblr, and Facebook. Well, wherever you can find me. So, I can have a little more fan interaction. And until next video, goodbye.